This is Mr. Shope. Today we're going to go over the core angles. This is kind of the whole ball of wax and fundamentals of geometry right here. So we're going to start with the four pairs of congruent angles: alternate interior, alternate exterior, vertical, and corresponding. So we have two parallel lines right here, A, B, C, D. These two lines are parallel to each other. EF is called a transversal. A transversal just is a line that cuts across two other lines, okay? Transversal is just a line that cuts across two other lines. And if we just had this right here, two parallel lines, we don't have any angles. We need this transversal to create the angles, okay? So that's what the transversal's doing, is creating the angles. And I've labeled some angles right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna start right down here with corresponding, because corresponding is the easiest to start with. When we look for corresponding angles, here's what we do. Okay, if you think this is a good thing for you to think about when you're 16, 17 years old and you're either driving or starting to drive. If there's an intersection right here, this is spot 1 at the intersection. Say there's a four-way stop right here. We're at an intersection, there's 4 cars here. Car 1, car 2, car 3, car 4. Okay, if we have the same intersection a block away over here, where's car 1's place at this intersection? It's right here. So if I went 5, 6, 7, 8, car 1 is at the same place as car 5 at this intersection. Corresponding means just where's the same place at a different parallel intersection right there. So if I say, hey, what's a corresponding angle to angle 2? Corresponding angle would be angle 6. Corresponding angle to angle 4. If you look at this intersection, I can even say 4 is on the right side and it's the bottom. I come down to this intersection, right side and bottom is 8. So 4 and 8 are corresponding angles, okay? So it just basically says, where does it correspond? Where does the angle correspond at the other intersection? I think most of you get that. Vertical is another one that's easier for kids to understand, because vertical is just where we see some crisscross action like that. So if I say this is angle 1 and this is angle 2, whenever you see crisscross action, those angles directly across from each other are called vertical angles, directly across from each other. And we got some crisscross action right here. So 2 and 3 are vertical angles, 1 and 4 are vertical angles. We're just talking about directly across from each other. So you say directly across, okay? Directly across. And I can even put like a little X here to remind me about the crisscross action for vertical angles, okay? And alternate interior and alternate exterior are pretty easy to remember, because when I think of exterior, exterior means outside, outside, okay? So when I think of outside, I think of outside of these blue lines. When alternate exterior lines have to be outside of the parallel lines, and they're also diagonal from each other. So angle 1's outside of the blue line, it's on top of the blue line. Diagonal from that would be angle 8. 1 and 8 are alternate exterior. They're outside of the parallel lines, and they're also diagonal from each other. Outside and diagonal, okay? So I can also write diagonal in here, okay? Diagonal. And this is going to be inside and diagonal. Alternate interior, inside and diagonal. Inside the parallel lines would be 3 and 6, inside and diagonal, okay? And these are all called congruent. Congruent means same. Congruent means same. This is huge, huge, huge to know that they're congruent. Because if I tell you right here, angle 2 is 50 degrees, and I put an X here at angle 6 and say, well, how many degrees is that angle? You can say, okay, this is top right here, and X is top right at this intersection. If they're congruent, they're both the same, so X would be 50 degrees. It's huge to know that these angles are the same degrees, so that you can figure out missing angles and missing variables. A linear pair just means this. Here's 180 degrees right here, a straight line. So I can set my envelope on any straight line, and both these angles should be 180 degrees right here. So if this is 150, 4 would be 150, or 180 minus 50, which would be 130 degrees. I can find out that angle right there. Linear pair is anything on a line, and the supplementary means they have to equal 180 degrees. They have to equal 180 degrees. I find this line, I can set my envelope on this line right here. 5 and 7 are a linear pair. It's sitting on the line. 5 plus 7 has to equal 180 degrees, okay? We will save same side interior for another video. Thank you.